Okay, good afternoon students. Today we will start with rubella virus. So rubella or German measles is a mild fever which is characterized by transient muscular rashes. Okay, so in itself the disease is trivial, but rubella in pregnant women may lead to congenital malformation in the babies. So rubella virus, they are pleomorphic, roughly spherical particle, and they are about 50 to 70 nanometer in diameter. They possesses a single stranded RNA genome and is surrounded by an envelope carrying hemagglutinin peplomers. So it agglutinates goose, pigeon, old egg embryo and human erythrocytes at 4 degree centigrade. So this rubella virus have been classified in the family Togaviridae and is the only member of the genus Rubivirus. This virus, it can be inactivated by ether, chloroform, formaldehyde, etc. It can also be destroyed by heating at 56 degree centigrade. The virus can survive for several years at minus 60 degree centigrade. So next is the cultivation and host range. So the virus can be grown in many primary cell culture and continuous cell lines such as rabbit kidney, baby hamster kidney, etc. But cytopathic changes develop only in a few cell lines. So experimentally infection can be produced in human volunteers as well as monkey. So next is your clinical features. So after a incubation period of 2 to 3 weeks, a generalized rash develops first on the face and then spreads to the neck, trunk, plum, etc. So the rash is generally discrete and ordinarily disappears by the third day. So there is non-tender enlargement of posterior cerebral glands. The disease, it mainly occurs in children but can affect people of all ages. So the common complications are arthritis, then arthralgia. This disease, it is common in women with increasing age. So based on the results of study in vitro, rubella infection is presumed to cause chromosomal breakage and inhibition of mitosis in infected embryonic cells. So this infection, it is acquired by inhalation. So the virus can be recovered from the throat for about 7 days before the rashes. So viremia can be demonstrated as early as the 7th day before the rash and ceases shortly after the appearance of the rash. So this can also be demonstrated in feces and urine. So patients with subclinical infection are infectious and may develop viremia. So the infection of the fetus is by bloodstream. So fetal damage caused by maternal rubella is related to the late stage of pregnancy. If rubella occurs in the early pregnancy, the fetus may even die. So congenital malformations are the commonest during the first trimester with a reported risk of up to 90%. So later the damage caused may be more subtle in the form of communication defects or development retardation and may not be apparent till the child grows older. So the commonest malformation caused by rubella are cardiac defects, cataract, then deafness, which constitute the classical congenital rubella syndrome. Multiple defects are common. Several other features have been recognized in babies with congenital rubella, which includes your bone lesion, then myocarditis, thrombocytopenic, etc. And all these constitute your expanded rubella syndrome. So the rubella virus is also present in all excretion of congenitally infected infants. This virus, they may persist in tissue such as lenses for several years. So the infected babies, they constitute an important source of infection to staffs in the hospitals. Clear? Okay, so next is the laboratory diagnosis. So routine diagnosis of rubella is not called, but laboratory confirmation becomes important when rubella is suspected in pregnant women. So diagnosis can be established by virus isolation or by other serological tests. So virus can be isolated from blood during the early stage or more successfully from throat swabs, and they can be grown in rabbit kidney. So the virus, it grows better if cultures are incubated at lower temperature such as 33 to 35 degree centigrade. So rubella virus isolation is not commonly employed for diagnosis because of the difficulties and delay involved. Serological diagnosis is used for routine diagnosis. So in serological test, ELISA for immunoglobulin M and immunoglobulin G antibodies gives valuable information. So if only immunoglobulin M is found alone without immunoglobulin G, it means correct acute infection. And if immunoglobulin G antibody is found without immunoglobulin M, it means past infection or vaccination, and it denotes immunity. So in congenital rubella, the viruses may be isolated from a variety of sources such as your urine, throat swab, leukocytes, bone marrow, etc. So in that case also, serological diagnosis is made by demonstrating immunoglobulin M antibodies, which indicates your immune response in the fetus as against immunoglobulin G antibodies, which may be passively transferred from the mother. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next is prophylaxis. So rubella infection, it confers lasting immunity as there is only one antigenic type of this virus. However, reinfection have been reported. The disease is so mild, so prophylaxis is directed only towards its tetragenic hazards and is so relevant only in women of childbearing ages. So an obvious method of protection is to acquire the infection before puberty. So this can be achieved by or this was achieved by rubella pertis, which was formerly practiced in Australia, where girls voluntarily expose themselves to known rubella cases. So live attenuated vaccines have been developed by serial passage of the virus in tissue culture. The vaccine is now used in the RA27 by 3 strain, which is grown in human diploid cell culture and is administered by subcutaneous infection. So the vaccine, it can be given alone or in combination with measles and mumps component as your MMR vaccine. So the vaccine is generally well tolerated, though minor reactions may sometimes occur. And this vaccine should not be given to immunodeficient patient. So is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is all about your rubella virus. I think there are only 2 or 3 more viruses left, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
HIV is left, then
measles or mumps.
HIV, measles, and mumps. Okay, so after this 3 virus gets over, I will take seminar. Okay, everyone choose one topic, and we have to present individually. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
So if you take the first unit, that is normal flora, you have to take the whole topic or the whole unit. Apart from that, others, if they want to take a bacteria or a virus, they can take. But if you want to take the first unit, which is a normal flora, you have to take the whole topic. Also, if someone wants to take from your unit 4, which mainly is your practical unit, if you take staining, you have to explain all the staining. Then if you take biochemical reaction, you have to include IMVIC test. Then if you take your sugar fermentation test, you have to explain all the sugars fermentation test. And if you want to take any bacteria or virus, you can take. Only if you take hepatitis virus, you have to explain hepatitis A, B, and C. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and about your practical, when do you want to come and have practical in college?
Sir, এনে আমাক কেতিয়া মাতিছে সেইটো
ডেট
ক'লে
ডেটটোতো 28 নে কি আছিল?
28.
28
And about your what called dissertation, have you all decided about the topics?
Yes, sir, almost.
Okay. Okay, then you decide the topic after you come to college. You can discuss the topic with your respective guides and you can start your project. Okay, so this will do for today. Thank you.